Alright, Waterland. The frog suit can be very useful in some of these stages, the underwater stages, like this one right here. Here at the start, let's drop down and get a fire flower under the sea, as I resist an overwhelming urge to break into Disney song right now. You can see the air jets coming out of some of these pipes pushing you up. Some of these pipes you can actually enter, and if you have the frog suit, you can push past the current and enter those pipes. We'll be doing that a little bit later. Actually, with some of them, if you fall in with enough speed from above and hit it at the right angle, you can get in without needing a frog suit. We'll show that as well. We can jump up and over here and get ourselves another fire flower, if you don't have one already. It's another one of those little secrets. They're pretty generous still with the items at this point. And the fire flower very useful against the bloopers, as you just saw. Like as they slowly fade off the screen. The one up right there, and this will propel us back out. And that should be the end of the level right there. A little bit off. Should mention it helps to come in at a 45-degree angle, a perfect 45-degree angle. So here you want to hit the bottom left corner of that box at full speed to guarantee the star every time. Sometimes they don't give you a whole lot of real estate when you come out of that pipe, so it's more difficult to find the sweet spot. This is a interesting level in that if we have a star and we keep hitting these boxes, we can keep our invincibility going. If you don't have a star by the time you hit this next one, it'll just be a coin. And went to the wrong side, that's alright. Well, the level's almost over anyway, so not a big deal. Always good to have a fire flower for these cheap levels. Fry some fish. Give another P-switch right there. There's a fire flower in here, just to show it. And actually, if we have a raccoon tail here, we can fly up and to the left. I can show you a little bit without it. We can jump, but can't get the one up without it. You can see it's a lot more stuff going on up there, but you do need to be able to fly to get that. Yeah, when you have a lot more runway, it's easier to hit that star. All these are going to be frog suits in these boxes, mind you. Doesn't matter which one you hit. Later in the stage, there will be item houses where a frog suit is one of the options alongside lesser items. Not that I'm a big frog suit guy, but... This stage, we have the boss bass to contend with, swimming around. The fire flower is very useful. Can take care of the boss bass for a limited amount of time before he regenerates and is right back there in the water again. And the boss bass can swallow you with one bite, so hit the P switch here and start moving to make this level a lot easier and turn all these coins into a bridge for you. Just be ready when they disappear, just like that. Because so too will go your floor beneath you. And there we go. Ready to take on the next fortress level, actually. One of two here in Waterland. And let's actually... Ben, have we got another... This should be easy with the fire flower. Generally take the leaf over the fire flower any day of the week. Do you concur, Mario?
Yes, Mario here much rather fly. Besides, Mario here charged one too many times for arson in the Mushroom Kingdom.
Well, I'm glad you're back, Mario. I still have a lot of questions for you. Things I didn't get a chance to ask you about last time you were here. As,
You gotta play better, Professor. Mario here getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
After Gary gave you the tips too, and you let the mushroom get away. Mario don't like to be small.
You're right, I'm sorry. I'll chalk it up to just being a little nervous when I'm in the presence of a living legend, so...
You know I kiss Mario's ass. You just to play better.
Alright, well, anyway, we got the hammer, which we can use little bit later. I don't recommend using it to get to the match game here. We're gonna hold on to that and grab a whole bunch of items a little bit later. But if I can get back to asking you a question, Mario.
Shoot, Professor.
Actually, the two-tone floor of the stage reminds me, and sorry, class, just follow along. This is one of those maze-type levels.
Yeah, Mario no like it. Mario get very confused.
Yeah, right. Just you have to know the right pipes to go through and everything to get to the ending and to the boom boom. But anyway, I've been meaning to get your opinion on something, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little over a decade ago, I was living in New York City and singing and playing guitar for a ska band, and we actually covered the Super Mario Brothers theme at our Halloween show.
There was a reason ska only lasted 3 months, Professor.
But it was fun, though, and the whole band even dressed up as characters from the Mario universe.
Oh, you would dress up as a Mario?
No, I actually wore a novelty Donkey Kong t-shirt and brown pants. It was pretty lazy, if I'm honest.
Oh.
But I was thinking I could play you a bit of that video and get your take on it. What do you say?
Look, Professor, being in a ska band, that's one of those things you should probably keep to yourself in the future. I mean, lots of people did things they're not proud of. Had Mario here fake a medical license in the 90s just to get his hands on some pills.
Oh yeah, Dr. Mario. Yeah, we have a class on that coming up eventually. Can we lock you in to show up for that one now, by the way?
Well, Kenny, you are guaranteed you can get Mario some of those pills. Mario here hasn't tasted the sweet, sweet yellows, reds and blues since the 90s.
I'm not gonna commit to getting you drugs in the middle of class, but we can probably rustle you up a Video Games 101 tote or something.
Aha, and if Mario here reach into the bag and he find a surprise, then it is what it is, eh? Mario here read you loud and clear, Professor. You can count Mario in.
But the ska band?
Ugh, let's get this over with.
Ben?
Dio mio. Questa è spazzatura! You messed that part up, Professor! That part is okay! Okay, we're picking it up now. Let's go. But no one even does it like a Mario.
Our drummer was. He was in the back.
No one can even see him. Mario, he need to be up front. Here, the star. You have a lowly servant like Toad more visible than a Mario. It's wrong. And one more thing, you disrespect Mario dressing up like a Donkey Kong. He kidnapped the princess for Goomba's sake.
Yeah, but you put him in a cage.
Oh no, Mario here no want more members from PETA outside his house. Mario here pay off his debt to society. This interview is over, and your cover sucks, just like ska. Garbage genre, he's the virtual boy of music. Mario here leave.
Ben, can we try to get him back? Sorry about that, class. If you have the frog suit in this stage, you can drop in one of these pipes, this one right here. Like I mentioned earlier, go against the current. Make sure you hold to the right as soon as you come out to get yourself 3 1-ups. Not too shabby. They'll be there waiting for you at the bottom if you want to grab most of the coins. As we missed that one. A lot easier to get around in the water, though, when you have the suit. Got the hidden 1-up right there. We're coming up on the stage, actually, where there's the unlimited 1-up, so we should be able to top off our count before too long. But yeah, much more controlled strokes when you're in the frog suit. Awful for getting around on non-water-based levels, but yeah. Gliding around in the water when you're wearing it. Very difficult. I like that hop. Very difficult to time up that star perfectly when you have the frog suit. And while the bridges are down, let's pop in this item, Mushroom House. Grab ourselves a new item. The mushroom has been replaced, there you go, by the frog suit. Otherwise, it's a fire flower or a super leaf. There you go. Third box, always a lock. Whatever my rhyme was, even though I'm not a big frog suit guy. I feel like I've said that a couple times now. If you want to use your hammer right there on the rock, you have access to a few more of these item shops where you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting a frog suit, otherwise a fire flower or a super leaf. There it is. Third box. Never fails. Honestly, there's a lot more items if you use the hammer here, but if you hang on to it, you have a chance at an extra Tanooki suit in the next stage, so it's your preference essentially. But while we're doing the match game and getting these items here, let's bring Fluff back in for an interesting fact about Super Mario Bros. 3. Fluff?
ID Software, the people behind popular 3D shooters of the early 90s like the Wolfenstein, Doom, and Quake franchises, sent a PC demo of Super Mario Bros. 3 to Nintendo, hoping to gain authorization to make their own official port for the PC. Nintendo was impressed, but ultimately declined, keeping the game as a Nintendo system exclusive. The demo was based on a test they put together and named Dangerous Dave and Copyright Infringement, made by ID designer John Carmack, and it was especially impressive as he created a way to have smooth, scrolling EGA graphics, which was considered to be difficult to implement at the time. Mario's sprite was replaced by Dangerous Dave, a character from John Romero's game of the same name, in a completely playable recreation of World 1-1 from Super Mario Bros. 3.
Thank you, Fluff. That is an interesting... By the way, this is just a normal item house right here, so mushroom, fire flower, or leaf. Which is why, again, kind of underwhelming the items you can get by knocking down that boulder. It's just a lot more items in general, so... But anyway, yeah, never would have expected an ID4 and Nintendo connection on any level whatsoever. They seem as far apart as possible. ID4 with their violent games, which Nintendo generally shied away from, but very interesting nonetheless. As we go to 3-6 now, arguably one of the worst stages you can show up to in a frog suit. I don't recommend it. You know what, we're going to try this. We're going to keep this going for a little bit longer. This may be our first death, that's alright. It's for educational purposes. Actually, no, change my mind, I would like to keep this no death run intact for as long as possible. Seeing as we do upload these later on without the commentary. For members of the class who just want to focus on the game. And the music sometimes, Koji Kondo. One of the best. Must be nice to have written some of the most. Gotta be very careful there, that could have crushed us against the invisible wall at the end of the world. Yeah, some of the most recognizable pieces of music of the late 20th century. Pretty cool. The one up to be grabbed there if you can squeeze in. Wasn't worth sacrificing the life. Again, we have the stage coming up in which we can basically get unlimited 1-ups. It's here in Waterland. Be very careful with that little spinning platform right there. Hit it at the wrong time and it will launch you to your death. And another instance where the raccoon tail is just very nice for staggering your drop a little bit, slowing that down and coming in for a cleaner landing. So while the bridge does come down here and we could skip a couple levels, we're not going to do that, of course. We're going to show you everything. These little guys are called spikes. And for obvious reasons, that's one heck of a party trick, by the way. Pulling a massive spiked ball out of just inside of you, anywhere. I don't know where they're keeping it. It can be pleasant. Regardless, once you hit this switch, drop down here, go to the left, get a 1-up right there. Kind of impossible to get if you don't hit that switch, obviously, but get some coins out of the deal, always nice. We have some extra clouds here, and if you land on this little pad, there's that hidden red note block. And once again, we are in the clouds. up to 56 lives. I keep teasing it, that level is just around the corner actually. Can't go up in this one. What you see is what you get, but we do get ourselves a cloud from the clouds, much better than just a handful of coins. And now we do have to go through the fortress since the bridge is up, but that's by design. Mario sure is good at holding his breath. I should have asked him when he was here, maybe if I remember. When we get him back in a couple worlds. Fire Flower again works very well against these cheaps underwater. And you got these boos that are... That's a tough life, man, just being part of the furniture, essentially. But with the swimming mechanics, there you go. They're doing a pretty good job on us. This is where it helps to be a little bit smaller. And then we're gonna stick to Gary's tactic of just jump on, jump off, jump on, jump off, jump on, jump off. Sensei Gary. Alright. This is a good excuse to burn more of our inventory at this point. We have so many things at this point. I guess we don't have as many as I thought we did. Eventually I'm just gonna stop doing these match games. Just too easy, and I could see if, you know, you were getting maybe a Tanooki suit or something more decent out of these than a random 1-up or a couple Fire Flowers. I guess you get 2 of everything for the most part. 2 stars, 2 Fire Flowers, $10, 2 mushrooms, $20, 30 if we want to put it all together, an extra life. And what are we missing here? And 1 more star, yep. Not even leaves, you know? Let's try the match. That first one's always pretty easy to hit. A little bit late on the second one, and then we want to be pretty close. Maybe a little bit early on that last one. There we go. Almost got, well, we got about 2/3 the way to maximum lives. Even without the life trick, which is coming up here in a second. Alright, so 3-8 is another stage in which we can unlock a white mushroom house. Get ourselves another P-Wing. If we hit that left block right there, we can get a beanstalk and grab ourselves a very useful Fire Flower against the boss bass. I don't know that I'm going to try to go for the 44 coins this time. Our inventory is pretty much at max capacity at this point, and we're going to have enough P-Wings by the time we get to the end of this game to do what we want anyway, so not going to worry about it. We're just going to power through here. But if you did want to get them all, then basically it's just a matter of collecting everything and then hitting that P-switch and scooping up the remainder of the coins which appear from the blocks. Not too difficult on this one. But there you go, that would have been the Mushroom House stage right there. 44 coins. We are finally at 3-9. This is the extra life stage. This is the one where you can really farm those extra lives very easily. Just have to do exactly what we mentioned here. Make sure you grab a Koopa shell there at the start. Be careful about not whacking it on any of these enemies. Create a little opening there and go right enough so that the shell keeps bouncing around back and forth. And now we just have to wait. You can see we're going to speed things up. The bullet bills keep coming out of those cannons. The shell's taking care of them for us. And the only enemy at this time, for our purposes, is that clock, and we should have plenty of time to get to 99 lives and still complete the level. Pretty satisfying, though, I have to say. A lot easier than jumping on Goombas, hoping they come out of the pipe again and again and again in a timely manner. Not our problem this time around. Alright, so we have a little bit more time to explore If we go back here, I believe there it is. There's a leaf for us. And there's actually, if we go down to where we were, where we cleaned up when it came to the lives, we can take this pipe down. Try not to lose this leaf as soon as we got it. Drop down here and swim to the left over this little block area right there. Mind the cheap cheeps, or the singular cheap cheep. Pop in here and hug the right, and we have ourselves a frog suit for what that's worth. Again, not a big frog suit guy, but there you go. Certainly makes getting around in the water more manageable. A little bit faster as well. I do like the animation they switch over to when you pick something up and then Mario's like, oh wait, I still have feet and I can walk around normally. There's a 1-up hidden in there, and there's a firefly. You know what, we're running out of time. I'm not gonna... Let's just finish this one up. Spend a little extra time gathering all those extra lives. But yeah, fire flower if you keep going left. And there was a extra life in that one block that was different from the rest. I believe that's the first time we've been close to running low on time. We almost lost our first life in all of the chaos right there. We were probably fine on time. But at least we got our second star there. Not that it matters at this point, at 99 lives, which we aim to keep for the rest of the game. Transfer through these pipes here. It's time for the next airship. Take on the third Koopa Kid. And we're probably not even gonna have that star. Or it's pretty useless at best because it, yeah, not much you can do with it on the airship. But just for my own curiosity, do we get to keep it when we touch down? Yes, we do. All right, there you go. We get those fun little flips and everything, the somersaults in air. You can see as the ship moves up and down, those wrenches, position changes relative to us, so have to be careful. I think you could jump over that, but yeah, just thread that needle there. There is a leaf right there, which I will again always take. There we go, a little shortcut up top, or at least a relatively safer route. And this is the first instance of one of these cylindrical screws that you come across a few times. This one we just bounce off of and basically hover over to the right, avoiding most of the trouble. About 4 seconds before they respawn, so they don't give you a ton of time. And let's go back to Gary for tips on the next Koopa Kid.
Boss beaters.
All right, Wendy. I'm very quickly sounding like a broken record. Jump on her head. Move left or right depending on where you have room. And just jump on their head before they get those shots off. 3 head jumps, 10 fire flower shots will take them down.
Thanks, Gary. Yeah, Wendy's little, I guess, life preserver type attacks from her wand always made me hungry for some lifesavers. The things we remember. We've saved another kingdom. Waterworld, or Waterland. Kevin Costner would be proud. Is that our distant cousin, or not even distant? He looks just like Mario. And this is the worst gift that she gives us on the multiples of 3 levels, 3 and 6. Another music box. Defeat your enemies or put them to sleep. Anyway. Here we are in Giant Land. A lot of fun mechanics here in Giant Land. If you knock down that boulder, if you had a a hammer left over, maybe didn't use yours earlier in Waterland, then you can use that too. Yeah, I love the giant enemies. It's easier for our purposes, as we have a much larger surface area to fall on. And I like the tiny little item coming out of the giant block that we destroy, which turns into 4 little blocks. And the physics of swimming up the waterfall like that, that's fun. We've gotten to the point where just praising the game mechanics. This first stage isn't too difficult, so I feel like we can get away with that. This is Big Bertha, different from the boss bass, and that this is the one that spits out the tiny little cheeps. And then kind of swallows it back up, cannibal style. I'm not really sure what to make of that. Maybe she's just keeping her child safe, but a couple one-ups to be had there. We come out to the right, we can drop straight down, grab ourselves another super leaf, and note that you can stand on these clouds, which is nice. I love the giant animated Koopa Troopas. They only have room for 1 flower to come out of one of those massive pipes. But yeah, they don't do all that much. There you go, 5 one-ups that we don't need, but they don't do as much with the mechanic as I would like. I might have been spoiled later on with Mario 64 when they did that giant land quite effectively, if you ask me. We are maxed out right now, just burning through stuff needlessly. Stars, fire flowers. Know how it works by now, Toad. I haven't lost one of these yet. Come on. Who do you think you're talking to here? Yeah, there is one stage here in Giant Land in which you can transition between the normal-sized world and the giant world. But yeah, they definitely did a lot more with it, probably just because they could when they were making Super Mario 64. But there you go, cleaned up once again. What are the odds? Yeah, if you do have a hammer left over, you can knock down that left boulder, grab yourself a Tanooki suit. There's a giant flower. By the way, this is another of the White Mushroom house levels. This is the one for World 4. The number to collect is 24 coins. This is one of those stages where you need to collect every single coin. So as soon as you hit this P switch, jump out of the water, head to the right, jump over this and grab these last 3, and now we should be good. We should get just enough. In our game, I think we started with 31, so we need to get to 55, which we just did. I think we just nailed it. Didn't really hide any of the coins in this particular stage. Pretty straightforward, just about making sure you grab them all in time. This being an even stage, all we're going to get is a kind of worthless for our purposes anchor, but just the same, since it's easy enough to collect them all on that stage. And while we're collecting this underwhelming item, I'm told Fluff has a fact about this stage in particular.
Notice anything about the shape of World 4's main island, Professor?
Well, I guess I see eyes?
It's shaped like a giant Koopa.
Okay, yeah, I see it now. That's a nice little detail. Good call, Fluff. Thank you. That's a quick one. There you go. Third box, always a lock. I'm gonna change that rhyme about 100 times before we finish this game. What's bigger than a hammer, brother? Or a hammer in general, I should say. A sledge hammer. Those are sledge brothers. They bring the pain. Unless you have the fire flower, of course, in which case you just burn them and they're out of your life. Didn't really need that Koopa Troopa right there. You just make that jump with enough speed and you're good to go. Thread that needle. Play with a little extra confidence when you have a raccoon tail, I have to say. And then as soon as you have... Plus you can fly. Even when you don't really need to fly, it just helps you navigate the stage a little bit more easily. But yeah, as soon as you're small Mario, confidence just gets shot. Skills go out the window. Got our fortress stage, or our first fortress stage here in Giant Land. I'm gonna go down this middle pipe right here. Mine the dry bones. Grab yourself a fire flower from that block. We're just gonna cut straight through. And you may have noticed, I personally like to work a super leaf, a raccoon tail, get my PP meter up. Sorry, just singular P meter. That's a different meter we're talking about. Get the P meter maxed out, and then just basically hang above the boom boom, and then drop in as if we were jumping on his head. Eventually I'm going to skip these match games as well, but seeing as we won the last one. Oh wow, I got lazy. It's usually the easiest one to land too. Something you'll notice is if you go for the mushroom, it's an easier lineup to get those 2 extra lives than the star, which obviously pays out 5, so. Alright, so this stage, if you have the frog suit, you can just swim right through that. We want to get to the left. Or, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, we just drop straight into the left. If you have the angle right and enough speed as you're dropping down, then you can get right through, slip right in, and hit this P switch. Grab a whole mess of coins. We don't need them, but it's so satisfying collecting them. Can't explain it. Another P switch right here. We can use the ones that we didn't collect as little platforms to help us collect right there. And as we're here, might as well collect the last 3. Gonna have a decent score at the end of this one, if nothing else. Like Giant Land's interpretation of the underwater levels. As we have Lake 2 dropping spinies down, trying to jam us up. Not today, Lake 2. This is Lake 2 before he got into reporting, or camera work at the very least. Kind of picture him as kind of a Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler type situation. Going to crime scenes, and I mean, he could just float right in. Seems pretty convenient. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Let's see, do we need to... We got space for 1 more item. Might as well get big right here. Double big. What else can we burn? Those are always the first to go. 3rd box, always a lock. Actually, how about you give me all of them or I'll jump into you with this star, Toad. There we go. Been working out pretty well recently. 3rd box, glass. Go for it. Got a couple Sledge Brothers here. Get that star going. Make this anticlimactic. Grab ourselves another cloud. Eventually we're going to have so many of these that we can, and we have another Sledgehammer Brothers. You just do a little shallow jump with them. Much more underwhelming star that time. And let's go in order. Let's go to 5 next. 4, 5. Trying to think of what to burn right here. Let's just stick with our mushroom that we got. So much for that. Give Give ourselves plenty of time to react right there. Again, the skills, my confidence is so shot when I'm down to small Mario. Knowing any hit could kill you. Once again. There we go. Of course, if you're not already Big Mario, then those flowers just revert to. That's close. Needed a haircut. Just revert to a regular mushroom in effect. We have a beanstalk up there. We can ride one of these bullet bills up into the pipe and get ourselves, that's right, a Tanooki suit. And here with some facts on the Tanooki suit, here is Fluff.
Blaze mentioned the Tanooki suit earlier, but did you know it's also flame resistant? The burners on the airship shoot out flames for a limited time on a cycle. To actually extinguish the flames, jump over one of them in the Tanooki suit and activate the statue form as you're dropping down to snuff out the flame. You can take out other enemies which are thought to be otherwise invincible with this technique, including thwomps and chain chomps. The Tanooki suit itself gets its inspiration and name from the cute Japanese raccoon dog, also known as the Tanooki in Japan, which Mario resembles when wearing that suit. Tanooki in Japanese mythology are known for being deceptive and shape-shifting tricksters, which explains Mario's ability to shape-shift into a statue and trick his enemies at will while wearing the suit.
Thank you, Fluff. That is one of the cutest animals I have ever seen in my life. The Tanooki. No offense, Fluff. I mean, you're alright, but raccoon dogs, sign me up. Go late. Yeah, that was late. Go a little bit early on that. Oh well. Abomination. Let's see how long we can hold on to this Tanooki suit, actually. At this stage. Alright, star 10. So then the match should be, yep. If you do accidentally, or don't feel like cheating, and you are legitimately trying to guess, which good for you, then, and you fail out, then it'll hold your progress for next time, so. Good thing about clearing out the map is that, obviously, you get a clean one next time, so you have a chance of getting even more prizes, let's call them. Very middling prizes, but still prizes nonetheless. One up right there. You have just enough juice left in the tank to get up here to the little cloud section. So adorable, Mario in the Tanooki suit. And this is the stage which is the most like that stage in Mario 64, in that you can go through the door and get back to normal-sized land. They put the two side by side there, but yeah, I think they could have done more with that. It's one of those things where I'm surprised, the developers take the time to put a mechanic like that into the game, and then they don't use it more often. It's just that one stage, essentially. Alright, this is a 1 in 3 chance to get the Tanooki suit. You know we're going for that third. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Not some garbage frog suit. That's pretty good. We got a nice closet full of Tanookis at this point. We need to develop our Hammer Brothers suit at this point, or our Hammer suit, but other than that, and just that extra bit of confidence when you have the ability to fly and just hover around the stage. Really nothing like it, I have to say. Wait for one of these dry bones to drop down so we can get a little jump off of them. As you can see, there's a hidden door right there, framed by the coins. We're going to be dealing with this mechanic a lot later. This is the pipe land. Just a little taste of pipe land ahead of time. The ones with the light bulbs you can jump on, and then every time you do that, it'll change its direction which it's going in. Make sure we hit that. This isn't going to be anything that we need, but just to show, there is a fire flower for you. and we're gonna see how long we can hold on to this dream. By which I mean this Tanooki suit. We can go around the world like that. And if you're feeling impatient and you've got wings, just go ahead and do that. There's a one up to the right. If you can fly up here, then you can grab it. You don't have to hit it with your residual flight. You can just drop down and run back and forth long enough to get the P meter that you need. And what do we find here? 3 more extra lives. Happy day. And keen-eyed observers will notice that there is a block in the top left. If we fly up here, get some more coins. How about that? Not the most valuable secret, but a secret nonetheless. There we go. Try to make it more difficult with these close quarters. And this one is the jumping variety. I don't think one of these boom booms has hit us yet. Keeping that streak going. And we still have our Tanooki suit. Real question is, can we beat the airship with the Tanooki suit? And I believe we get a special message from the king if we beat it wearing different outfits. I like the little dinosaur king. Can you confirm that, Fluff? Is that true?
Beating the airship levels with one of the special suits Blades mentioned earlier will earn you a special response from the king. With the frog suit, the king will say, oh my, you've been transformed. Shall I change you back with this wand? With the Tanooki suit, it's, thank you, kind raccoon, please tell me your name. And the hammer suit, hey you, how about lending me your clothes? No dice? What a drag.
Alright. Well, let's prove that by surviving this slowest of the airships right here. Agonizingly slow. Which you can argue makes it more difficult as the enemies take more shots at you, things like that. Of course, if it's faster, then you need to be more precise with your jumps. Plenty of time to do some shallow jumps to move this thing along. We don't even have to worry about these flames at the bottom. And it just locks in. Totally unnecessary, but a very satisfying feeling. And once it locks in, you don't have to worry about slipping down on it anymore. What trashy items in there? No thank you. I'm dressed up as a Tanooki right now. Do you think I want to change that? Mario's embraced the furry lifestyle. It's a beautiful thing. No judgment here, Mario. That was close. So very slow. Seems like cigarette lighters. Bit to me. Alright, can we get enough speed to make this jump here? Nope. Not quite. It's alright. Not exactly the gauntlet that we need to sneak through here. Again, this would be a much more difficult jump if we didn't have the ability to stagger our drop. And this is the one airship where there's a hidden item right there, in which case a super leaf. Gary?
Boss beaters. Right, Iggy. Exact same strategy. Can you believe it? Jump on the head, go left or right wherever you have more room in the room, and just jump off the head or on the head before they get their shot off. 3 head jumps, 10 fire flowers.
Thank you very much, Gary. I think Iggy was maybe my favorite when I was a kid. I like the blue on the shell. It's a nice color. Alright, we survived with our Tanooki suit intact. What message are we gonna get from this king? Thank you, kind raccoon. There you go. Please tell me your name. Fooled him. Didn't even have to go full statue there. I believe we get another P-Wing. There we go. Inventory's looking good. We'll see if we can't get Mario back for World 5. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and comment on this video and click subscribe if you haven't already, as this seriously helps me to keep making great content for you.